Okay, welcome back to the channel. We're going to have a quick look at the DGR charity bike that we did. Not actually for the DGR, for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, in case you didn't know what that was. It's the DGR provide lots of pots of money to do charity work, and we did a bike in conjunction with some underprivileged kids, and we did a Hanway scrambler. Hanway, what's one of them? It's a Chinese bike. This is a Hanway scrambler, and this is the finished product from what it was. Now, originally they call it a scrambler, but typically, like any of these sort of road bike scramblers, you wouldn't want to take it off road. Really not that appropriate. It was a really low slung exhaust that came up around the bottom straight away. You want to get that out of the way, so went with a high exhaust on this. And do you know what I found out brilliantly was that a lot of these sort of Chinese e-bikes, the Hanway, the Herald, Mult, Mash, who else are there? There's so many, Bullet, Keyway, I'm cracking, I could go on for ages. But they're basically the same machine. It's the same thing, so it's the same engine and stuff like that. And I looked for an exhaust that was a high level exhaust that fitted onto a 125 because the engine would be the same. This one was is for an Apache.
Yeah, I think you said, yeah.
So, anyone out there who's got one of these Hanways and go, oh, I wouldn't mind a little high exhaust like that instead of my low slung thing to make it look more scramblery and be more functional. It's actually an Apache exhaust that went through there, and a very simple, generic, what are they called? End can.
Yeah,
end can on the back. But immediately what this did was then lift it right up, so it's out the way. Had to drill a hole, weld a nut on because it didn't have a fitting for the lambda sensor at the front, so that's straight in, so we didn't need to muck about with anything like that. That was absolutely cracking. What else did we do? We cut the rear pegs off, so these are cut. They might think they're cut at odd angles, but actually the support and the metal structure behind it is in this shape, so that's what you've got to sort of stick to. But we took off all these because these were right back here with pillion pegs on. Not going to happen now because you've got this pipe up here and you're using that seat, so you're not going to have pillions. Chopped that off and brought that down. Again, it was all just to lose a little bit of weight really and get rid of that sort of thing. We had a look at the forks. They were actually pretty decent. They were all right, the forks. I was going to say impressed.
Yeah.
Probably not that impressed, but they were better than I was expecting. So actually fairly plush. But the rear shocks were shocking, eh? So they were shocking. So we changed them out and we put on some piggybacked adjustable shocks with a little bit more about them than just the spring on the back, which is what was on there. We also gained another 2 inches of travel on the back end using these, so they were ever so slightly longer. But I mean, some people would say, right, hang on a minute, yeah, that would interfere. But as we looked at before, we changed the chain and sprockets out, so we made that so it was geared to accelerate faster. And actually that changed it and lifted the chain up off the chainstay. So that worked a treat as well. So all in, it came together, stripped off the lights, sorry, took the indicators off because that's not needed. This is going to be used as a bit of an off-road demo type machine. It's actually quite a nice little light thing. I'm not trying to pick it up. Yeah, I'm not kidding you, I reckon I could just deadlift it. Let's see if we can literally just pick it off the deck. Do you know what? I don't know what that weighs. I'm going to guess it weighs... It's got to be less than 100 kilos, that. Less than 100 kilos. So it doesn't weigh a lot. Which means it'll perform a little bit better when it's off-road. Are we all? Are you ready for this?
The sound. I was like, will it start?
Oh,
amazing. Yeah, literally. So that little baby sounds alright actually.
But it's actually not too bad at all. I think it came out really, really well. The lads who were working on it were really happy with it. We've still got to paint the tank. We're going to do it. They come up with a little design. The name of these guys is called the Pulkey Riders. So they call themselves the Pulkey Riders, and we've made up a little logo for them. So we're going to spray the tank in the Pulkey Riders thing. And they're going to get out and ride this, hopefully, once all this lockdown is finished. They'll get out there, we'll teach them to ride it, and then we'll do a little course and have a little competition and have some prizes, because everybody likes prizes. So that is the finished product for them. That was nice and simple, and it was a nice one to do during that sort of lockdown thing. Obviously we were all very socially distanced and wore masks and everything throughout the whole thing, because it was very well monitored. But I think it worked really, really well, and the feedback of the guys who were involved said it was really, really good. So that, I'm just going to take that as a huge plus point in the fact that it worked, and we'll see whether in future we could do more of this. Certainly I'd be keen to do some more of that, and especially getting them out riding it. Okay, if you like that, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in a bit.